Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Monday, April 3rd. Happy to have you all here. Some interesting entertainment news taking place over the last day that I wanted to talk about while doing my makeup to get ready for the fact that I'm going to go see It's a me, Mario. I'm seeing Mario. What's the movie called? Super Mario movie? I actually don't know the name of the movie. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to go see that tonight. And not even tonight. I'm going to go see that. I got to leave to see it in an hour. So I'm going to do a brief hello to all of you guys. And then I'm going to jet. But I want to talk about number one. We heard this morning that there's going to be a Moana live action Disney remake. And this is an interesting one. The internet seems, surprise, surprise, not stoked. Also, merge city, bitch. Endeavor and WWE. WrestleMania was obviously this weekend. A lot of wrestling stuff to talk about, which I'm really interested about. I'm really interested in this merge, and I'm really interested in your guys' thoughts on Mania and the future of the company and all of that stuff. I want to hear from you. I can tell you guys how I feel, but I want to know from you. And whatever the fuck else you guys want to talk about. Plus, as you guys know, I typically do my makeup during this show. So we're going to do that. For those of you guys who like to keep up with my skincare routine, I already washed my face, put toner on my face. Now we're going in with a collagen. This one's from the Inky list. I'm going to say that 90% of you guys don't give a shit about that. But for the 10% of you who do, now you know what the fuck I do. Also, Elon Musk and Twitter are at it again. People are so annoyed. And you know what was interesting this weekend? I went out with my friend who is from home, who lives here, who's one of my best friends, who is the fucking shit and amazing. And he is wildly successful and very smart. And it was interesting because we were at dinner and he was like, oh my God, it's so annoying that people seem to give a shit about this blue checkmark thing. Who cares? Just let people buy the checkmark. And I was like, well, let me explain to you how this affects my life and my livelihood. And I explained it. And he was like, wow, I had no idea that this was a tool for your job or anybody's job. That's wild to me. I completely changed my mind about it. And I was like, it's so interesting that most people don't realize that. Another thing people probably don't realize, I lost another form of income this morning. And for any of you guys who are content creators, you did too. So Reels, Instagram Reels, have been paying people per view. I don't know how you get invited to do that. I don't know whether it's like above 1,000 followers or what exactly the specifications are, but I've been doing that. And as of today, it's gone. So hopefully they pay me out for my last round. But it's very frustrating when you're relying on income and then no rhyme or reason. It's just taken and they're like, actually, we're not doing that anymore. It's like, why? And so this is the shit that that me and my friends that are in this part of the industry, we bitch about. And then other people are like, oh my God, what? You're bitching about the fact that the videos you post on Instagram aren't going to get as much attention. And I'm like, no, I'm bitching about losing money. You guys all can understand that, right? Anybody in any walk of life, any job understands it's annoying when you didn't plan on losing money and then you start losing money and getting rid of the blue check mark on Twitter. That's what that does for me. It takes away job opportunities. Getting rid of the pay per view of my Instagram, it loses money for me. Like it actually, social media is a part of my livelihood. So it's completely different. And you got some trolls in the chat. They're fucking adorable. Yeah, like Jimmy says, it's a pay cut. And it's like for everybody else, they're like, oh, woe is you. And then you actually sit and explain it to them. And anybody with a brain is like, wow, that fucking sucks. If my job did that, I would be fucked. So it's very, very hard to be freelance and to be a creator, as many of you guys know who are. Anyway, it's not the main reason we're here to talk today, but as you guys know, I like to talk about my life, and hopefully you guys give a fuck about that too. And if you don't, probably Live at the Roxy is not the right show for you. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Super Chat Inc. Getting your questions, comments, concerns. Let's start with this Moana thing. Oh yeah, anybody keeping up? This is hyaluronic acid, The Ordinary. I swear by this product. It is relatively very inexpensive. It lasts me a very long time, and I have noticeably improved the feeling and the clarity of my skin, and just like, yeah, it's really good. I really, really fuck with this. Don't forget your neck. I think it's like $8 or something, which is pretty fucking good for skincare products. I get it at Sephora. All right, so let's talk about Moana. Now, if you're like me, you love Moana. That's not the question. Love Moana. Have loved Moana since the day it came out 7 years ago. I'm just going to emphasize that again because it is so bizarre to make a remake of something that came out 7 years ago. I know that we do that all the time when it comes to superhero movies like Batman, but 7 years is still a pretty small period of time to remake something. We know that we've remade The Lion King, we remade Aladdin, we remade, if you want to call Maleficent a remake, or an extension or whatever, but 7 years is a very short period of time. Also, additionally, Moana is an interesting, if it was from 50 years ago, is an interesting choice for a live action adaptation. Now, we don't know exactly what that means, right? We don't know if that means that they will be doing the exact same story or if it's more like a Maleficent style thing. Obviously not specifically that, because um, that wouldn't work for this, but I just mean, is this going to be like the next steps, or is it going to be an actual remake, or what exactly are we going to be doing with it? But in general, watching the internet be so fucking pissed about this, I think is weird about where our culture is, where our society is, because remember, and this is something I need to remind myself, no adaptation changes the original. The original still exists. They don't go back and doctor the original to make the adaptation work. If you love the first Moana, if you love the animated Moana, the good thing for you is that that stays existing. It's there, it's out there. You can watch it anytime you want. Moana rules. And no live action version, whether it is the exact same, different, a sequel, whatever, no live action version takes away from the first Moana if you don't let it. So when people get so upset about it, it's a little strange. Like, how dare thee try to make another form of art? I like the first one. It's fucking weird. Unless the first movie of any movie is like offensive and wildly fucked up, if they want to do another one or try to make more money, more art, more things, that is their prerogative. And that's never going to really piss me off. Never going to be like, oh, fuck this, the way that the internet is. That being said, do I think that a Moana movie is necessary right now? Maybe not. I love the music in this. I hope that, unlike Mulan, they keep the music. It's like the best part of Moana. That's how I feel. How are you guys feeling? Let's see. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Jimmy Dale says, another soulish cash grab from Disney. Go figure. Had my business opening a few days ago. It went really well. Soon there will be cash to share again. A rising tide lifts all ships. Jimmy, so I know you opened April 1st. How did it go? Were people fooled? How are people feeling about your concept? How are people feeling about the names of the flavors? How are people actually feeling about the flavors? I want to hear everything. Please let us know. And thank you so much for your support here. I don't disagree with you that it is a cash grab. I think that sentence has become kind of strange because everything from a major corporation is a cash grab. Like, their purpose is to answer to their shareholders and make money. Like, that's all that Disney cares about, their bottom line. That's what all these companies care about. I'm not saying that's all they care about. That's not fair. There's people who work at these companies who give a shit about other things as well. But any major, let's just take movie studios, right? If you are Paramount, if you are Warner Brothers, if you are Disney, if you are any of the previous versions of Fox, if you are Sony, if you are any studio, you care about making money, because if you don't make money, you don't survive. So the term cash grab, I agree. Some things seem more cash grabby than others, but all things are to grab cash. That is why they do it. And I feel like while that can be frustrating for some of us and can lead to some really creative, not cute things, on the other hand, I'm not gonna sit here and say that some of my favorite things haven't come from them wanting to make money. Like they want to make money, so they want to make, theoretically, wanting to make money means wanting to make a movie that makes the most money. How does a movie make the most money? You get the most butts and seats, you make the biggest creatures so the toys sell, you do all these things, and sometimes that makes for great art, sometimes it doesn't. But the interesting part about Moana is that since it is so recent, like, do you just cast The Rock? I mean, what does it actually look like? Do you want to see a sequel, or do you want to see a live action remake, or do you want to see a live action reboot, or a live action 2.0? What is it that you would want to see? Let me know. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send it in. Give me your thoughts in the Streamlabs. We've got Apollo 3JP says, girl, what is going on? Been a minute. Popping in here just to say that Mario is an amazing movie, and also shoot my shot, of course. Say the word, choose love, you're my muse and my flame. Respect. Apollo, where you been? I haven't been very musy because you haven't been here. I mean, I haven't been here as much either, but come on now. Ash in the Streamlab says, I didn't think it felt like a Disney cash grab. I thought it felt more like Dwayne Johnson vanity project. Okay. Well, talk to me about that. So here's what we know. There's a lot of Dwayne Johnson. I feel bad using this word because I really like him, but drama going on right now with the Zachary Levi, Dwayne The Rock Johnson beef, which again, even Zachary Levi's name being in the same sentence as The Rock makes Zachary Levi lucky. But there's also the fact that we know that The Rock wanted to do more Black Adam stuff, and then him and Gunn seemingly both said that's not in the near future or on the horizon. Seems like that's not what's happening right now. So, and we know The Rock's not doing Fast and the Furious stuff. Like, what's his big thing right now? Feels like the perfect time for The Rock to be in a massive Disney movie such as Moana. And I'm talking like as if I was The Rock's manager right now. I would say that this is a really smart call for him to get involved with that. It's also something I know with his kids. He always sings the songs to his family, and I think he'd probably love to actually be a part of it. Hi, Miss Movies. This movie's in the house says, all right, I have to go. I'll see the live action Moana. Not really into The Rock, but I like the animated film, and my kiddos will love it. So speaking of kiddos, it's not just his kids, obviously. This is a huge, huge kids movie. Kids love it. I love the movie. It's the best Disney movie possibly of the last, you guys are gonna flip out on me, but the best Disney animated movie since the 90s. I like it better than Frozen. I'm thinking about any other Disney animated movies that I liked as much as this one. I don't think there is one. I think Moana is the best Disney animated movie since the 90s. You guys let me know if you disagree. This movie says Tangled, though. I haven't seen it. How crazy is that? How did I miss Tangled? What happened? I feel bad about that. Everybody talks about Tangled like it's magic. And I don't think I saw Enchanted either. But I know that's different. But I always think of those two as the two princessy movies that I haven't seen. And I didn't see Frozen until Frozen 2 came out. So I'm kind of behind on some things. Yeah, not counting Pixar, Ash. Not counting Pixar. Although, even if we are counting Pixar, let's think. Do I think Moana is better than Inside Out or Up? Because those are my faves. I love Toy Story also, but just mean in more recent years. It's up there. Moana is a top animated more recent film. I didn't see Brave either, Andrew. Where have I been? Where have I been? It's kind of fucked up. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Send in your support. What do you think? Or are you going to see this movie regardless? Because I think that's probably what they're banking on, and I'm going to. And I'm not mad about it. Is anybody excited for this? Did anybody hear this announcement and they thought, yes, Moana, live action, fuck yeah. I feel like I kind of did. Like I'm sitting here playing it cool, but really, are we like, are we really gonna shit on a Moana movie? Moana's a dope character. I haven't seen the first movie since it came out, but I loved it, and I've certainly sung the songs. I've done the thing. Yeah, that's how I feel. Let me know how you guys feel, and let's also talk a little bit about what's going on in the wrestling world. Oh man, I've got a pimple on the tip of my nose. How are we going to clear that? We might just try to let it live. All right, so for those of you guys who don't know my history with wrestling, here it is. I like it. I'm not super knowledgeable in the wrestling world. I am friends with several people who are in the WWE. I have a brother who watched wrestling growing up, and sometimes I have some ancillary knowledge. My friends, Brad Gilmore and Farrah Gilmore, are staying with me right now. Brad's obviously very involved in the wrestling community. He does a show with Booker T, and he went to Mania and was kind of filling me in on some of the drama, not the drama, sorry, some of the matches. And I was asking him about some of the things that have taken place in the last few years. And then I went kind of down a rabbit hole. I hadn't seen the CM Punk press conference thing, which I went and watched. That was wildly intense. I didn't know about I knew about Sasha Banks's walkout, but I hadn't seen like there's a lot of things that I have knowledge of, but I not extreme knowledge of. So I would say that I have a lot of respect for wrestlers. I also saw Vince's picture with his mustache and stuff. I know that he left for 6 months, came back. I know about the misconduct and all of that stuff. But I'm not some diehard fan. Like if you're tuning into this and you don't know me and you're like, this is gonna be a girl who has an expert opinion on the WWE. No, I'm just a casual fan. And I saw this Endeavor merger and I was like, huh, first of all, it's interesting because I could be very far off. Maybe you guys were thinking this, maybe you weren't. But I was like, I would think that the title would be Endeavor buys WWE. But that's not what it was. It was Endeavor and WWE merge. I wonder what exactly the difference is and how they're dealing with that. Then I watched a conference between Ari Emanuel and Vince McMahon of them talking about it. And Vince McMahon was straight up asked if it wasn't for the scandal, which pausing on this story for a second, I think it's always hysterical when people interviewing people refer to something as the scandal and the person they're interviewing knows exactly what they're talking about. Like, something's not great if anybody can say to you, blah 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 about the scandal and you know what they're talking about like in the way that you've lived your life they say the scandal. I guess it's better than you being like which scandal. But people just referring to Vince's sexcapades as the scandal, it's like that's funny that he was like, okay, the scandal. But Vince was like, no, this absolutely would happen because it's the right time, the right place, the right thing to do. And I was like, okay, so what's his involvement going to be? But he's still going to be involved on the chair. And so I think that all things considered, it sounds like a big deal. I don't know how much this is going to actually affect things. It's a $21 billion deal, which is just numbers that none of us can even fucking like, how is that humanly possible? Those are the numbers that we're talking about. But I know that people have been kind of bummed with Vince recently having anything to do with anything creatively. So I think that this probably will make for a better product in the long run. And it seems like everybody else kind of is remaining in place. They're just adding more people, more resources. And I do wonder, and again, remember, casual fan, this is the first thing I think of. Now, I'm sure you guys are going to be able to correct me completely in the chat right now or tell me, no, that's not going to happen. Yes, that is going to happen. But I would have to assume this is really good for UFC, WWE fans that are fans of both because I would think that that would mean there's more uh crossover in terms of like how things end up distributed or where you're able to see them or even the people involved and the products in general. There have been some people obviously who've gone from UFC to WWE, but if they're both part of Endeavor and this whole sitch, maybe that's good for the fans. And maybe this is a great thing that we're seeing. Again, I would love to hear from you guys. You know more than I do here. So let me know what you're thinking. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in. Streamlabs always preferred because the YouTubes take 50% because they are the man. Not the man like dope, the man like stick it to the man. Ash in the Streamlab says, "Hey Roxy, how's life been since the scandal?" I know, since the scandal. Um, I was thinking about that. Like if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, there's been a few. Depends on when in life you're asking me. Bear Hudson in the super chat says attended WrestleMania in LA. It's the biggest event in entertainment. The merger will help with crossover appeal to both demos. Roman Reigns is a legit star in the WWE. Watch WrestleMania, please. That's awesome. I'm glad that you were there. I went to pick up Brad from Mania last night and it was a fucking madhouse. Usually it takes me only 20 minutes to get over to SoFi and it took an hour and a half. Everything was fucking jamming. It was like a goddamn freaking nightmare over there. But I did like when I got close enough to see the people who had gone. Everybody dresses up so sick. Wrestling is so great. Like the community, the wrestling fans, they're just some of the best fans. I sometimes obviously there's going to be toxic fans everywhere, but like it's not like some of these fandoms that just are fucking malicious sometimes. Um, okay, hold on. I ordered a salad. Please leave under the mailbox. Thank you. Um, so yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think? Let me know. Brian says I'm a champ for unfacing the SoFi traffic. It was brutal. But the reason that I did it and with Farah, his wife, we both went. The reason that we did it was because the Ubers were surge charging to over $100. It's like, I don't even know how people did it. Maybe people bought parking that was cheaper, but just these events, you always think like, okay, I'm going to spend this X amount of money on tickets. But then to get food at an event, to get parking at an event, or Uber to an event, or whatever, it's almost like the ticket isn't even the biggest price anymore for any of this stuff. The other stuff is equally as fucking pricey, if not more pricey than all of that. I really wanted to try to go to Mania this year because I've never been. I've always wanted to go, and it was in LA. But without a connection, it's just like it's so difficult to manage. Um, and to justify like, okay, this is where all my money is going right now. I'm so glad that people enjoyed it. Seemed like there was some controversial stuff too. Like there was some matches that people were not expecting. What Cena lost, um, which I just think he's such a great fucking sport. Like the fact that he's still as actively involved a few times a year as he is, he's such a fucking legend, man. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. The two main things today, yay or nay to the Moana live action, yay or nay to the WWE Endeavor merger. And what am I missing? Let me know. And yay or nay to the fact that Twitter and Instagram both fucked me over this week. That's going to be a nay from me. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. I'm going to go see the Mario movie. I'm going to just keep calling it that until somebody tells me what the name is. How do you guys feel like it's going to be? I'm obviously going to put out a review for y'all. I'll let you know what it is that I think after it. I think it comes out at least in LA. I'm pretty sure on Wednesday. So people are going to be able to see it really, really soon after. Usually the press screenings, the closer they are to the actual movie coming out, the more skeptical I get. Like they didn't want press to talk about something too far in advance. But anybody I've heard of who's seen this movie has said very good things. So sometimes it's just about Sometimes it can be about spoilers, which I don't think it's going to be for this. What the fuck would a Mario spoiler be? And sometimes it's just about timing and resources and when they were able to figure out the press screenings after junket stuff and stuff. But I'm looking forward to it. I went to, as you guys saw for the World Girls, we did Super Nintendo Land, Super Nintendo World, whatever's at Universal. And it was so dope and fun. And I was really excited about it. But it was, um, but it was a good reminder that I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen these characters in a really long time. I should probably brush up a little bit. Not that I need to know who they are going in, but I was like, oh right, that's what that little what is it, Goomba or whatever, the um all the different things that go by and shit. So yeah. Anything else from you guys before I GTFO? Get the fuck out. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. I'll be out of here in the next couple of minutes. So send them in loud, send them in proud, send them in now. Just to give you guys an update on my week. Now that we're not doing SEN on Tuesdays, I'll keep you posted on if and where you can see me. Otherwise, Wednesday, I film The Big Thing, which airs for you guys on Thursday. Wednesday night, we do The World Girls. Thursday, again, catch me on The Big Thing. Friday, Only Stupid Answers. I'll be back here again this week. Brad and Farah are leaving tomorrow, but I have another friend coming in, so my schedule is always up in there, and I'm fully in on Wednesday. I've got a meeting for the Crust movie, meeting with some of the cast, and I'm in rehearsal mode. So, and Thursday is Passover. Lots of shit going down. Just keeping you guys posted and updated. Definitely not done with my makeup right now. Working on my whole routine. How are we doing so far? We just kind of laid a little bit of a base. I never used to do anything with a sponge or with the contour sticks, but I'm starting to like the liquids better than powders because they just kind of like go into your face a little easier. All right. Well, if y'all don't give a fuck about that, then you don't give a fuck about anything. Why is that what I said? Who knows? We're just gonna let it be. On that note, stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want those flumes. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever on the rainbow. We love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Golden Sparkle, Zen, Glenn. We are thinking about you, my dear. We have been nonstop. Also looking into the Streamlabs from yesterday. John Get Bent just sent some support, and I appreciate that. If you're watching this after the fact, you're always welcome to send support. I'll read whatever it is that you say on the next show. Nothing from John Get Bent. He just sent the support. So otherwise I would read what it said, but I appreciate just the support in general. We also have Mike Joyce coming through who said, what do you think of the Secret Invasion and Blue Beetle trailers? I didn't really care for the trailers. Sure, the movies will be good. Also, I sent in Streamlabs after the show the other day. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you did on the 30th. You said heavy subjects today. Hopefully the topic of the next Live at the Roxy isn't too serious. See, it wasn't too serious today. If it isn't, I apologize for being so off topic. But did you see that someone tried to pitch Ben Affleck Good Will Hunting 2? Would you want to see a sequel? I would want to see anything that Matt and Ben worked on together. So, yes. But also, it's my favorite movie of all time. So, we'll see. I appreciate that. And I didn't see the Secret Invasion trailer. I thought the Blue Beetle trailer was fine. I really like him. I'm hoping that it is good. The movie went from being streaming to theaters, so they must have some faith in it, or in the character at least. But it was a little lackluster to me. Ash in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, this weekend I watched Creed 3, Shazam 2, Dungeons and Dragons, Scream 6, John Wick 4, and Ant-Man 3. Basically, there were a lot of sequels out. Yeah, I've seen all of those too in the last month. And honestly, it's kind of a yes for all of them for me. That's crazy. I loved Ant-Man, which I know a lot of people didn't like. I loved John Wick. I loved Scream. I loved Dungeons and Dragons. I loved Creed. And I liked Shazam. I didn't dislike any of these movies. Wow. Some good sequels. Too many sequels, but some good sequels. All right, so long farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now until we meet again.